And then me. Okay, that should be good. That should be good. Come on, check, check, check. Handheld, check, 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 check. Yes. Are we entering up here? Okay. Please stay after. I need to get your photo. Thank you, AV. And if you are a class officer, I need you to stay after chapel so I can get your photo. And I can't think of anything else. Thanks. See you in like 25 minutes.
Okay, pray with me. Lord, I want to thank you for today, the first day of May, a month that is quite busy for all of us. Give us strength to finish the school year well and to be mindful of what others are dealing with in the midst of our busyness. Remind us of the little things we can do to support others who we do school with along the way. We ask for your special blessing on those performing in the spring drama this weekend and give them clarity of mind and a sense of calm. We look forward to what they have to share with us today in chapel here this morning. In your name, amen.
So just as a reminder, we have our spring play, which is called A Night of Comic Theater, Revelry, High Jinx, and Happily Ever After. It is happening Thursday evening, Friday evening, and Saturday evening at 7 o'clock. Tickets are $5 for you, $10 for your parents. And if you want to just laugh till you cry, come on out and enjoy the show. If you want to see it over and over again, there's always something new to watch. If you want, watch the persons who are not talking, and you'll see some really funny stuff. So we're going to do just little excerpts from all three shows. It's three shows. Much Ado About Nothing, a shortened version of that Shakespeare play. a play called Mad Breakfast, and a play called The Lost Elevator. We're going to do small segments for you, but we'll give you a little bit of input in the beginning because there's pieces you might not understand because of what we're skipping. So I think we'll be starting with Much Ado. Miss Johnson will tell you a little bit.
Hey, good morning. I want to talk about laughter. There's a lot going on in our world. There's a lot going on between people. There are stressors, there are tests, and we need to laugh more. Can everybody go, we need to laugh more? Okay, so as Mrs. Kennel said, we have a night of comic theater for you. These are comedies. Not that we haven't learned anything through our comedies. Well, we've been exploring some of the tensions of doing older pieces and recognizing when themes don't always resonate now or are teaching us, our eyes have been opened to some issues that may be raised by these older pieces. But mostly, we're here to laugh. The Much Ado About Nothing is a one-act version of one of my favorite Shakespearean comedies with some of the most down-to-earth, fabulous characters, excellent love stories, and some really fabulous hysterical characters. You sadly will not get to see all of those in this preview because we're doing a piece from each one. Our piece is taking place in Messina in Italy. And we have a wealthy governor, and the whole group is celebrating because a war has ended. And so you're going to see a lot of people who are reveling. There will be reveling. So feel free to interact with those reveling through the aisles. Be excited. Let your energy bounce off with their energy. Share that, and we're going to have a really great preview today. So without any further ado, see how I put that one in? Much Ado About Nothing.
Trust you would be ruled by your mother. It is my cousin's duty to say, Mother, as it please you, but let him be a handsome fellow, or else say, Mother, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? No, aunt, all none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to imagine my kindred.
Oh, make good room. The revelers are entering. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to my house.
Wonderful
the drinks
evening.
are right to your right
Hi,
over
welcome.
there.
I'm so
Of course,
glad
here's
to
my
meet you.
daughter. She's beautiful.
Drinks are in the garden, and you're welcome to
And
explore
people are trying to get their
libraries.
husband at this point.
So much
And
fun.
here come
Do you
Don
have your mask
Pedro,
ready?
the prince, and his
It's
brother
all right.
Don John
You
on
can
the
get
other
this
side
another
there.
night. But I do
Thank
hope
you so
have a
much for
wonderful
coming.
time.
I just welcome them in.
Welcome. Hello. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
No problem at all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
And how are you?
Hello. Welcome.
How are you?
So good to see you. So good to see you all. Thank you so much. Oh, Don John.
Lady, will you walk about with me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when think you to say so?
When I like your favor. For God defend the lute should be like the case.
Speak low if you speak love.
Will you not tell me who told you that I was disdainful and that I had my wit out of the 100 merry tales? Well, this was Senor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Why, he's the prince's jester, a very dull fool. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, not being laughed at, strikes him into melancholy, and then the fool will eat no supper that night. Oh, come, we must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I shall leave them at the next turning.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you.
She misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was dull. I stood like a man at a mark with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards and every word stabs. If her breath were as bad as her terminations, there'd be no living near her. She would infect to the North Star.
Well, look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will fetch you a toothpick from the furthest inch of Asia, rather than hold a 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him a double heart for his single one. Marry, once, before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, milady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Oh, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but a little happy if I could say how much.
Speak, cousin. Or, if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither. Good Lord, for alliance! Thus goes everyone to the world, but I may sit in a corner and cry hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you?
Well, will you have me, milady?
Oh, no, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day.
Out of question. You were born in a merry hour.
No. My mother cried, but then a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy!
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
So if you want to see the rest of that one, you got to come. Next, we're going to be setting up for a mad breakfast. I'm going to give you a little bit of background because we're going to start partway through. So the premise of the story is there is a man named Mr. Jones who is a boarder at a boarding house, and he loves to play practical jokes. So he decided to answer an ad in the newspaper for a kind of an educator who is interested in observing an insane asylum. So he decides to have this person come to his boarding house. So he is right now telling different boarders different things about this visiting man, so that he can convince this man that everyone in the boarding house is insane. So you can see they're actually normal people, but they appear insane. So here we go. You're going to see some of the setup, but some of the setup you haven't seen, so just use your imagination.
Good morning, Miss Smith.
I suppose it is a good morning, Mr. Jones, but to one of my temperament, morning is simply an inhuman part of the day. Why, to me, the day doesn't start till 1 p.m.
Wow, you should be an actress, Miss Smith.
Don't I know it? I'm acting all the time. Why, sometimes the very sight of my typewriter just makes me want to scream.
I wonder why you don't leave the office. Get up on stage. I'm sure you've got the talent.
Why, Mr. Jones, I've got genius. Though perhaps you think I shouldn't say it about myself. I know it. Why, sometimes when I recite Asleep at the Switch for the Good Times Club, I make myself cry. My emotions are so real.
Well, you'd better be careful. One of these managers will just snap you up one of these days.
Why, Mr. Jones, I've never met one.
Well, you can't say that after today.
How's that?
Oh, I don't know if I should say it, but I may as well tell you in case anything does happen. You ought to be prepared in case he offers you a contract. Mr. Robert T. Long, Belasco's right-hand man, you know, is coming here for breakfast this morning. He likes to go around like this and look for new talent. It isn't as easy to find as you may think, Miss Smith. But old Long is hard to fool. He says he could tell all about a girl just from the tone of her voice, about her temperament and all that.
Believe me, Mr. Jones, he can. All my friends claim that I have the same timbre, with a much more sympathetic tone, than Ethel Barrymore's.
I don't know if I've done just the right thing in telling you, Miss Smith. Mr. Long's kind of touchy about these things. He likes to do them on the quiet.
You may trust my discretion, Mr. Jones. Introduce him as a bond salesman. I can act the part.
I'll do just that.
Aren't you coming to breakfast, Mr. Jones, or doesn't the food tempt you? I'm sure I do my best, but I'd be glad for any suggestions.
Might put some coffee in with the chicory.
It's the best I can get at 40 cents a pound. I'm surprised you drink it, Mrs. Roberts, if it is so bad.
Have to drink 3 cups of this to get 1 of coffee.
I'm actually waiting for someone. May I have a word, Mrs. Simpkins? Pardon me, folks. No, I beg you, do not alarm yourself. I merely thought to warn you.
I'd better go look around a bit.
Oh, no. Think of how badly he might take it if he were to find you cleaning up, as it were. Why, he may think you have something to hide.
My kitchen's that clean you couldn't soil your pocket handkerchief on it.
Of course. Good morning, Miss Green.
Lizzie! Throw that hamburger steak in the garbage can.
For lunch, Mom.
Do as I tell you.
Yes, Mom.
But you work all the time.
I know, but the light was so good. I think this portrait is going to make my fortune. I really do.
Oh, and I suppose old Tony, the peanut man, will buy it to hang in his front parlor.
We all wish Miss Green the best, I'm sure.
But Mrs. Simpkins is right. Tony's a good subject, but not a good purchaser. Now, if I could only find a millionaire with an interesting face who would let me paint it.
They go to the beauty doctors for that.
A word in confidence, Miss Green. Mr. Robert T. Long is coming here for breakfast this morning.
I don't believe I've ever heard of him.
Never heard of him? Robert T. Long, the multimillionaire, made his fortune in paper clips? He's an odd fellow. He likes to go around where he isn't known and study types.
But I don't see
what this has to do with you. Just a moment. He thinks he has a face like Napoleon. Fact! I have it from an intimate friend of his. And old Long gets exceedingly touchy when people can't see the resemblance. Now, if you, as an artist, should discover this resemblance and tell him...
I see. He might give me an order for a portrait or something. Thank you. I hope that I'm not yet reduced to that sort of deception.
No, of course not. I beg your pardon. I simply thought you might like the job.
When may we expect your friend, Mr. Jones?
Oh, any moment now. I think I'll go look out for him.
Do you know Mr. Jones' friend, Miss Brown?
Oh, yes. I know him slightly.
They say he is wonderfully like Napoleon.
Very.
They say he can tell all about you just by the tone of your voice.
All I can say is he's welcome to come here whenever he pleases. He won't find no skeletons in my closets, though I can't speak for the rumors. Oh. Mrs. Roberts, that is quite enough. Have you been getting any messages from the spirit world lately, Mr. Hill?
I should say he has, Mrs. Simpkins. There's been knockings, thumpings, and creakings at the door till I can't get a wink of sleep.
There's a warning for someone in this house, though I can't get the message straight.
Maybe it's for me. I had a warning a bit ago.
Can warnings be good things, Mr. Hill?
Good or bad, but mostly bad.
I take it as a good omen.
There's something strange.
Robert T. Long, the greatest medium that ever lived.
Never heard of him.
No, why, he is the reincarnation of Napoleon. Shh, everybody, Mr. Long is coming. Don't appear to notice him. He doesn't like to be noticed. Lizzie, don't betray him.
A word, please. Miss Brown, Mr. Robert T. Long. Mr. Long wishes to see our patients just as they are. Don't disturb them. Let him go among them freely and mingle. Only keep an eye on them, that's all.
Is there any danger?
Oh, of course not, as long as we keep an eye on them. Now, you must understand that in every case there is some mania that has to be humored. Never contradict them, always agree with everything they say, but otherwise treat them as if they were quite rational.
I see. A most humane policy. This is good of you, but perhaps I've seen enough.
Of course not. You must mingle with them to get to know them better. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert T. Long.
Sit right down, Mr. Mrs. Roberts, please. Mrs. Roberts, please move right down. Move all the way over, please. Sit right down, Mr. Long. This is an unexpected pleasure, I'm sure, but you're welcome to anything on the table or in the icebox.
Oh, that's quite all right. I have already breakfasted.
I ain't one to be condemned unheard, Mr. Long. That I ain't. Here's the breakfast, as good as I can make it, with prices what they is. Take it or leave it, but I'll have justice.
I'm sure Mr. Long would be charmed to have breakfast with us.
Certainly, certainly.
My prince,
Huh?
I knowed you. It were as my heart had told me.
You know me? Oh, right. That's a good girl.
Forgive me, Mr. Long. I can't help saying it. I'm a painter, you know, and I notice these things more than most. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Napoleon?
Look, he is Napoleon. As one psychic to another, Mr. Long, don't you sense something peculiar in the atmosphere this morning?
If you are vulgarly alluding to the eggs, Mr. Hill, them are the freshest I can get with prices what they is.
Let me make a portrait of you now as you sit.
As one psychic to another, Mr. Long, do you or do you not sense something in the atmosphere?
Don't move! Keep the pose!
Do you or do you not?
Perhaps you do not care to have me do your portrait.
Oh no, by all means.
By no means, Miss Green. I can't furnish tablecloths for boarders to draw pictures on, no matter how ambitious they may be to do the portraits of gentlemen as has $25 to pay for them.
Very well.
Oh, you must make a portrait of him, Miss Green.
Oh, you must. Can't you get a canvas?
I'll stake my reputation on it. There's something strange. Some powerful influences abroad.
I wish I knew what it was. I'm so nervous.
My God, what a pandemonium!
Hello, I'm here to introduce our third piece of our evening. It's called The Lost Elevator. It really doesn't need much introduction because we're just going to take it from the top of the piece. So we should be able to figure out what's going on. And we need very little set, so it won't take very long. As a sidelight, we did have an interesting experience early on in the process, and it's one of the things that I always feel like theater, and art in general, but theater specifically, can give us enlightenment to other things. This play was written in 1931, and there's a character in the play that was written as a black character with very offensive racial stereotypes, which in 1931 was sort of considered okay. And as we read it, it was sort of horrifying. But we actually had, I guess, good half hour or more of one rehearsal just sort of talking about it and understanding the different world then and where we have come. And in a world where racial tension still oftentimes influences perceptions and whatnot, I think it was very enlightening and very helpful within the world of theater to allow us to talk about it. You're not going to see any of it. We've changed it. We're not playing it that way. Obviously, we don't have an African-American actor playing the part, and we rewrote all the dialogue and all the offensive stuff out. But I think it was a chance that art allowed us to look at the world and experience things and open our eyes a little bit. So it was a sort of a nice sideline for us. But it's not a serious piece at all. It's actually very farcical, and I believe we are all set up. So I give you The Lost Elevator.
It stopped.
It stopped.
Jeez, it stopped. You're right, Sonny. It sure has stopped.
Operator, the elevator stopped. God, oh God!
It stopped.
I noticed it too.
The car stopped.
Georgia, the elevator stopped.
Yes, sir, it sure has stopped.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Well, are you going to do anything about it?
I'm doing all I can.
Won't it start? I'm in a hurry.
I'm doing all I can.
Oh, hey, look. The light's still on.
Well, what of that?
Well, if the light's still on, that means the power hasn't been cut off. How about it, Georgia?
Yes, sir, it sure does.
And if the power hasn't been cut off, then the elevator ought to work.
But it doesn't, does it? The trouble with some people is they know too much.
Miss, won't it start?
No, ma'am.
God, oh God! Operator, is something the matter?
Yes, ma'am, something sure is the matter.
Is there any danger?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Oh, I hope it isn't going to fall.
Oh, no, ma'am, it isn't going to fall.
If it fell, we'd get out.
Yeah, if they could separate us from one another.
It isn't going to go up. It isn't going to go down. It's stuck.
I'm asking you a direct question. Do you know what's the matter?
Yes, sir.
Well, what is it?
What?
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 Excuse me?
Ladies and gentlemen, the problem.
Yes?
Yes?
The problem with this elevator, ladies and gentlemen, is that the elevator is stopped. That is the problem.
God, oh God!
Annabelle?
Keep away from me.
Well, if it's like that...
I don't mind saying that I'm in a hurry.
Yes, sir.
And I have an appointment with the dentist.
Yes, ma'am.
And my grandchildren will be worried if I don't make it home for lunch.
Yes, ma'am.
Georgia, do you have any idea where we are?
Yes, sir, I can tell you that precisely.
Well, where are we?
We are right here in the Robinson building.
Any fool would know we're in the Robinson building. But between which floors are we?
What's that?
He meant between what floors?
Why didn't you just ask that in the first place? I would guess we are between the 12th and the 14th. There isn't a 13th.
There is, and we've found it.
Yes, sir.
Georgia, couldn't you open up the doors to the 12th floor and let us out?
No, sir, positively not.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Please, won't you let us out?
I demand that you open that door and let us out.
You see, ladies and gentlemen.
Let us out first and make your speech afterward.
Open that door.
Open the door.
Open that door.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't open the door on the 12th floor because there isn't a door on the 12th floor.
What?
That's why I can't open it.
Then open the door to the 14th.
There isn't a door on the 14th.
We got in through a door, didn't we?
I distinctly remember that there was a door on the 55th story where I'd gone to have my horoscope cast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is express elevator number 3.
Express? Ha!
On the express elevators, there aren't any doors between the 20th and the ground floors.
Oh, now I understand why you couldn't let us out. Thank you so much.
Annabelle?
I told you once I didn't want to speak to you.
But Annabelle?
You're cowardly to take advantage of this situation.
Annabelle, I'm desperate. In 5 minutes, we may both be dead.
Do you really think there's danger, Edwin?
Here, madam, in this wonderful little book bound in washable fabricoid, selling for the low price of $3, only 50 cents down, you'll read the entire statistics of elevator accidents.
Oh!
Go away.
Here, on page 113.
13, again.
Will you go away?
Where to, sir? Where to?
Well, thank you, actors, for your work here this morning. I want to invite you all to come. One last word. I frequently tell students that my favorite part of theater is being part of something that is bigger than yourself. Working with a team, accomplishing something that could not happen all on your own. And that has definitely been the case here, both with students on stage, off stage, with our tech, and also I have personally thoroughly enjoyed working as part of a team of directors and a team of creative folks working to design our set and to dress our set, which you see some wee bits of, but you must come to the theater and see the set as it's finished and the lighting design and all. I also invite you to come be part of this thing that is bigger than any one of us. Come enjoy, come support your friends, come out and have a good evening of laughing heartily and long. Good? Classes begin in 5 minutes.